It's the religion some question is even a religion at all. For thousands of years, Buddhists have strived to achieve bliss and detachment. You see a faith which ranges from celebrities in America to genocidal monks in Myanmar. It's one of the 5 largest religions on Earth, and not gonna lie, really complicated. Consider this the Cole's Notes version of Buddhist thought. It's a quick primer on what Buddhism is, how it was founded, and what are some of the core ideas within it. This is a large and widespread religion with, I kid you not, over 10,000 canonical texts. So let's just get the gist. I know it's a tad sacrilegious, but I'm going to try and avoid many of the ancient terms. I sense they're responsible for how confusing the religion sounds to outsiders. Not knocking it, it's supposed to be mysterious and mystical. That's part of Buddhism. I want to teach, and let's get down to brass tacks. Let's begin with the religion's founder, Siddhartha Gautama. Many refer to him as the Buddha, but Buddha is a title. It means the enlightened one, or the one who has attained nirvana or enlightenment. Siddhartha was a prince in what would be modern-day Nepal. According to legend, his father kept Siddhartha from experiencing even the smallest amounts of suffering. Dad fulfilled every need, and the boy wanted for nothing. Siddhartha was an adult before he discovered the concept of suffering. Leaving the castle walls one day, he saw the funeral of an old man. Again, according to legend, Siddhartha didn't even have the concept of death. This revelation set the prince on a lifelong quest to discover the root of suffering. He would go on a spiritual journey and abandon all he had, all to find the answer to this one fundamental problem of existence. Why do we suffer, and how can we escape it? So, what is existence in the spiritual world of Siddhartha? Buddhism, like Jainism and some forms of Hinduism, believes in something called wandering, or samsara. It's a concept of life, but also of the universe. They see it as a cyclical, never-ending journey of birth, life, death, and reincarnation. Indian religions are no stranger to the concept of reincarnation. Buddhists see this wandering as not necessarily desirable. The cycle is a constant story of drifting and mundanity. Siddhartha came to know this wandering as the source of suffering in the world. To Siddhartha, the way to escape suffering would be complete ego death. We must embrace non-existence and break the cycle of death and rebirth. Buddhists also believe as your soul wanders the endless cycle of life and death, they accumulate consequences for their actions. These consequences carry over lifetime to lifetime. They can even result in reincarnation in a higher or lower plane of existence or order of life. You likely know this is the concept of karma. It's something they also share with other Indian religions. However, Buddhist karma is not a strict up and down system, but they do believe intentional acts, words, and thoughts contribute to your soul's journey. This is where we find a divergence between your average Buddhists and those who aspire to Buddhahood. To a lay Buddhist, doing good deeds, thinking good thoughts, and saying kind words are all part of influencing your reincarnations. That's fine for the casuals, but those true gamers on the path to enlightenment seek complete detachment from the cycle of rebirth altogether. This means detachment from all desire, even the desire to improve one's karma. Part of this path is doing all the good deeds, but ceremonially transferring one's karma to others. The idea is to understand the lack of distinction between individuals and to comprehend the nature of non-existence. Karma then is just one more thing that fools the soul into continuing this path of wandering. To achieve true Buddhahood, it has to be overcome. And there's one piece we really do need to discuss. How does one overcome existence? How does one achieve Buddhahood? At the time of the religion's founding, there was a burning theological question in India about asceticism. Asceticism is the abstaining from pleasures of the senses to focus on spiritual enlightenment. There's some evidence early Buddhists practice ascetic lifestyles, but as of modern day, most Buddhists reject it. It's even baked into the religion's origin story. Siddhartha, in an attempt to reach enlightenment, practiced an extreme form of asceticism, but key in the Buddhist narrative is he needed to reject it to achieve enlightenment. This is a huge deal in the context of India. In Indian spirituality, Ascetics are common. Near major holy sites, it's not uncommon to see a naked person living only off food offered to them. India even has stories of gods who gained special abilities after practicing centuries of self-denial. So it's not surprising to say this is murky in Buddhist practice. Some monks still practice asceticism today. This controversy sets Buddhism apart from Hindus who see asceticism positively, and Jains who take it to its extremes. So then, what did work? What did Siddhartha use to ascend to Buddhahood? What wisdom does he have to pass down to humanity? How do you break the cycle? Siddhartha came to one key conclusion, which is the core of Buddhism. Suffering comes from desire. There are noble truths and paths to knowledge, but to distill it to its essence, we desire, which causes attachment, and then suffering. It's the attachment which keeps our soul trapped in samsara, and to ascend past it, we need to let go. This not only includes objects, but people, and even our attachment to existence. The ultimate liberation from desire and suffering is to cease to exist as an entity. The path to Buddhahood is a process of breaking down distinctions between individuals. I'm sure you have lingering questions. I talked about Buddhist fundamental principles, but what about all the different Buddhist sects? What is even in those 10,000 texts I mentioned? I will mention those, as well as the story of Buddhism's impact on the world, in a part 2 that I'm releasing in the summertime. I know, I wanted to show you the big ideas before I went into the actual story of Buddhism. In the meantime though, I did this video as a collaboration with Andrew Mark Henry, who runs the amazing channel Religion for Breakfast. It's a channel which studies religion from an academic, secular point of view, and it's really, really cool. He's posted a video at the same time as this one about the Dalai Lama, China's invasion of Tibet, and how the Dalai Lama is considering choosing to not reincarnate. You should go and check it out. It's pretty cool. Also, you should definitely like and share and subscribe here to watch more Step Back.